The chairman of the Indonesian Football Federation, Erick Thohir, along with head coach Shin Tae-yong, intends to add new reinforcements to the Garuda squad ahead of the third round of World Cup qualifiers. This is done as a strategy for the Indonesian national team to potentially qualify for the upcoming World Cup for the first time. Taking advantage of the new rule that increases the number of participating teams to 48, coach Shin Tae-yong is now optimistic that the Indonesian national team can capitalize on this opportunity to qualify this time. If the Indonesian national team qualifies for the upcoming World Cup, it will be a historic achievement for the Garuda squad and also for Southeast Asia. Moreover, the impact of the Indonesian national team qualifying for the World Cup will automatically enhance the performance of all players and create a healthier competition. Here is a list of potential players who will be naturalized by the Indonesian national team for the third round of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Maarten Paes. Although the best goalkeeper in the American League currently holds Indonesian citizenship, he has not yet been permitted by FIFA to play for the senior Indonesian national team. This is because there are administrative processes he needs to go through first, which involve international hearings regarding the player's permission to represent a country. However, if the process of changing federations for the player can be completed soon, coach Shin Tae-yong will undoubtedly make Maarten Paes the main goalkeeper for the Indonesian national team in every competition. This is certainly possible considering Maarten Paes is the best goalkeeper in the domestic competition in the American League. In every match, he can be a player who has a positive impact on his team's last defense. He often makes brilliant saves that frequently earn him the title of best player in each match. Thus, Maarten Paes will be very suitable to be the main goalkeeper for the Indonesian national team in the upcoming third round. Maes Hilgers, the young player from FC20, is rumored to be receiving an offer from the Indonesian Football Federation to strengthen the Garuda squad in the third round of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Previously, Maes Hilgers, who was on the list of recommended players for naturalization, had never refused to join the Garuda squad. He remains open to fighting with the Indonesian national team in the near future if the federation is genuinely serious about acquiring his services. Maes Hilgers is a young player who already has extensive experience at the club level. He is a player who regularly plays every week in the top tier of the Dutch league. Recently, he also managed to help his club win a ticket to compete in European club competitions. Acquiring his services in the third round will significantly impact the depth of the Indonesian national team squad in facing strong teams in Asia. Jairo Riedewald, the player who played for Crystal Palace last season and is rumored to be joining Brighton, is reported to be interested in strengthening the Indonesian national team in the third round of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. He has even stated that he has rejected a national team call-up from Suriname and is ready to wait for a call from the Indonesian national team for this event. Jairo is a tough midfielder who currently holds Dutch citizenship. He had previously been a player who appeared several times with the Dutch senior squad during his prime. However, after suffering an injury, Jairo's performance declined, causing him to lose the momentum to return to his peak performance and receive a call-up from the Dutch national team. Now fully recovered and back to his best form, Jairo is predicted to be an additional reinforcement for the Garuda squad in the third round of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Kevin Diks, after the Danish league ended, FC Copenhagen, where Kevin Diks currently plays, hinted that the player would soon change nationality. Kevin Diks is one of many Indonesian-descended players currently at the peak of their professional football career. He routinely receives awards at the club level every year and always plays in the Champions League against top teams in Europe. Kevin Diks has been a key player for FC Copenhagen in recent years. He has always played as a main player and has high international experience. His presence in the Indonesian national team will further tighten the healthy competition that will be created. This will be a motivation for all players to improve their professional careers to qualify and play with the Indonesian national team in the upcoming World Cup. Pascal Struij, the Leeds United player, has the potential to join the Indonesian national team in the third round of the World Cup qualifiers. He is a player of Indonesian descent currently playing in the second tier of the English League. He had regularly appeared in the best league in the world, providing quite good performances on the field. Pascal Struij is a defender who often makes explosive movements on the field. That's why he can score quite a few goals as a central defender. His potential inclusion will certainly increase the hope for the Garuda squad to have optimism about the opportunity to qualify for the 2026 World Cup in America. Jens Raven, the young player from FC Dordrecht, is rumored to be an additional reinforcement for the third round of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers in September. Currently with the Indonesian U20 national team under coach Shin Tae-yong, he is expected to showcase his maximum performance when he joins the senior Indonesian national team. During the Toulon tournament with the Indonesian U20 national team, Jens Raven could not make an impact due to the unrecognized game plan on the field. He did not receive good ball supply for 90 minutes in the 4 matches he played. However, in the senior national team matches he will play in September, he will undoubtedly receive good ball supply from the midfielders and wingers of the Garuda squad. It is now a matter of how Jens Raven can maximize opportunities and be the answer to the goal productivity of the Indonesian national team. Ol Ramani, Ol is the next descendant player who primarily plays as a pure striker and will undergo naturalization with the Indonesian national team. His presence in the Garuda squad is expected to solve the problem of the Indonesian national team's lack of goal productivity. For the past few years, the Indonesian national team has not had a predator who can maximize opportunities in the penalty box. The presence of this FC Utrecht player in the third round of the upcoming World Cup qualifiers will certainly be a breath of fresh air from the deadlock the senior Indonesian national team has experienced. In the upcoming World Cup qualifiers, he has the main task of scoring as many goals as possible with the Indonesian national team to secure the main position of the Garuda squad on the standings. Tristan Guger, the young player from the Ajax Academy, who has now been promoted to the first team in the top tier of the Dutch league, has become a highlight after he stated that he is open to offers to play with the Indonesian national team. Tristan is a fullback who can also play as an attacking winger for the club he represents. At the age of 19, getting a potential player like Tristan will be a valuable reinforcement for the Indonesian national team in the future. Despite his young age, he has shown maturity on the field. That's why he got the chance to appear with the Ajax senior team in the top tier of the Dutch league. However, we cannot be sure about the arrival of the player shortly. Still, PSSI has confirmed that the arrival of these players will be done gradually during the third round. Those are the potential players who will be naturalized by the Indonesian national team in the third round of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Don't forget to write your opinion in the comments section.